thinking, God, I'm going home. This is so awesome because that body down there, I can't stand that thing. It's so painful. And so I'm just up there and I'm watching this craziness down there. And the Lord just came on me and he came down and he started talking. I was like, oh, it just felt like I needed to just fall on the ground, but I was up here and I couldn't fall down because I had no body. I was just up there, you know, and it was crazy. And the Lord told me, he said, you can come with me now or you can stay, for the prayers of the saints have given you a choice. And I did not even know 400 people were praying for me at home. And in that moment, I was like, what do you mean I have a choice? You always think that you're going to be so incredibly saying something your whole life in front of God. And I just said, what? I was so unintelligent. What? And he said it again, same thing. So the bottom line is, he showed me my son. My son was 5. And he's so cute. And it wasn't a picture. It wasn't a video. My son was right there. And I knew, he said, you can go with me now or there's much work for you to do. I knew if I left, my son would not know God. Because people would be angry. And so I made a choice. I didn't say anything. And the Lord sent me back, told me a bunch of other stuff, sent me back. And it was horrible. For the next, I had 2 more surgeries in 2 days to save my life. It took me over a month to get home. I was completely bedridden. It took 3 years for nerve regeneration. I ended up with 13 surgeries in 14 years. I finally had enough nerve regeneration to go back to work, but I had to lay down most of the time. I carried a cushion everywhere. People said, that's the lady that lays down. I was on so many pain meds. I don't know why people wanted to work with me because I was all marked up, but I was okay. I mean, I was sane, but you know, that's all you can do is go to work and then go home. So the end of it is, the Lord told me in February in 2013, they were scheduling me for my 14th surgery. And I was undone. I was like, God, you know, I'm just pray for people. That's what I do. And it caused me to be an intercessor. He told me to go to VOA. I started reading your books because I was
Voice of the Apostles.
Right, Voice of the Apostles. I started praying for people so much, and I never saw any healings. I was so discouraged. And I said, God, there's got to be more. And I found you. And I started reading your books, started reading Bill's books, and I was like, whoa, I am doing the wrong stuff. And the Lord said, go to Voice of the Apostles. And I said, I can't fly, God. I can't sit. I can't sit for more than 2 minutes. I can't fly. He said, go, you'll be blessed. And I was like, oh gosh, I called my best friend. I got to go to Florida. She goes, you can't fly? I know, but God told me. So somehow I took a bunch of narcotics and we got on the plane and I went and it was hell, but I made it. We get to Voice of the Apostles the last day. I was fed. It was amazing. I was knocked out by God's power on the floor. I spent more time on the floor at Voice of the Apostles than anywhere in my life. At the last day, the last 2 hours of the conference, some man came down.
Richard Holcomb, who's the guy who gave me the prophetic word. Test me now, my Texas friend.
Unbelievable. He was going to the bathroom. Richard was going to the bathroom, and the Holy Spirit said, see that lady? Go over there. And I was on my knees, which is ironically the best place for me for 14 years. It was the only comfortable place for me, at my knees. So I was on my knees, and I was worshiping. I was sitting on a cushion, you know, leaning back like that, and Richard comes over and asks me what my problem is. And I give him the 1 minute, and I have no faith to be healed, because now I've been prayed for by everybody. Like, God, if you wanted to heal me, you would have healed me. I was like listening to all this stuff in my head, like, God needs to use me like this because I'm stubborn, all this and that, whatever. And Richard goes, no. And he touches me, and the power of God falls on me, and I fly backwards, and I'm on the floor again. You know, I mean, it's been crazy. So I tell him everything, and he looks at me, and this is the most powerful thing he said. He goes, why'd you have to go to Florida to get healed? This is not right. And since then, the power of God prayed for him, and I did all the impartation that you all did for me. And since then, God has been moving through our church and healing